everyone, it's Megan and Travis here today from Safex. Travis is one of our safety specialists, and today we're going to be talking about the Walking Working Surface Standard. So Travis, this standard's been in effect now for a little bit of time. Can you tell us what employers should know about it?
Well, ultimately they should understand that if they comply with it and they read and understand what the regulation is calling for, there's a lot of things that they can do that previously they weren't able to do and use from a compliance perspective when you're talking about fall protection and things. Anytime we talk about walking working surfaces and fall protection, the term for general industry is referred to as a walking working surface, not necessarily just fall protection, which you see a lot of times in construction and other industry terms and things like that. But compliance with this new standard is actually a lot different than you see with a lot of other new regulations when they come into effect. This is actually allowing a lot of employers to have more flexibility. It gives them just some additional leeway as far as how they're protecting their employees.
Mm-hmm. So what type of flexibility would employers have now?
Well, I mean, previously there was not much regulation for fall protection and walking working surfaces in general industry. A lot of what we did and followed came out of the construction regulation. Now with there being an actual written standard in play and in effect, we're able to now have a better idea. So for example, previously we were never allowed to use a warning line on a roof in a general industry work. So a lot of companies have maintenance personnel and things like that are working 30 feet from the roof. They go up once a month or once a quarter and check their HVAC equipment to make some filter changes or check their units and things like that, and they're up there for 5 minutes. The question used to be, how do we tie everybody off? Do we have to install guardrails, things like that? There's things as far as temporary and infrequent work that the new standard talks about that really allows employers to have additional flexibility. It saves them a lot of time and it saves them a lot of money. They just have to read and understand the standard and really get a good idea as far as what it is they need to do. And they'll find there's a lot of advantages from what they previously had to do.
That's great. What about training? Does Safex offer anything?
Absolutely. I mean, not only is it a good idea to get your employees trained on the new walking working surfaces standard if you're an employer in general industry, it's also a requirement too. Much like a lot of standards with the fall protection and construction standard, there's a specific training requirement to it. Confined spaces, silica, scaffolding, things like that, those types of core subjects that people are exposed to and things. The walking working surfaces actually is a standard that has specific training requirements. And when you actually read the standard, it tells you that all training for employees who are exposed to falls at heights, they actually had to be trained on the new standard and were in fall protection by May 17, 2017. So you look at the date now, we're a year past that. So employers, if they haven't done it already, should really get on board with reading the standard and making sure their people are trained.
That's great advice. Thanks, Travis. Thanks for joining us, and we hope you'll check out our upcoming Safex training.